Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. And for the supportive oracle cards, Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay. I've already shuffled. Why are we going to do that? Okay. Is this? Yeah, okay. Okay. Herman. I want to say he showed up in the last two signs. I know he showed up in one of them, I think. Anyway. Alright. And if you probably, I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute who I'm referring to as Herman. Probably already know, but, well, that's interesting. Herman is how I lightly refer to the devil card. Or was it Herman I was calling him the other day? I don't know. But pretty much the unwanted guest to the party is how I view him at the moment. I don't know why. He can have a few different tones to him. I get that. And sometimes it's just about enjoying yourself. I get that. Just these last couple of readings, I just have not been a fan of that card. No, that's showing up on your partner's side, and it's showing up for their spirituality. So I feel like they're going through this moment where they're having a moment and there's a dark energy. Well, it's kind of a dark feeling there, so dark energy. I don't feel like I was supposed to really go to him right off the bat. It's just that I saw him and just, But it seems to be matching this. I'm wondering if there's been a disagreement between you and your partner. Scorpio, yes. This is the Scorpio card is the Ten of Swords. The Devil card is their spirituality. The Ten of Swords is where, this is what's causing the problems in the situation right now. Feeling defeated, things not going the right way. And I'm noticing your partner has, this card is connected with two others. The Five of Cups, which you probably realize, a lot of people realize that's like loss. Concentrating on what you lost instead of what you have left. It's not complete loss, but it's being centered on what has been taken away from a person. This is on your partner's side. And between the two of these cards, what's connecting them is a yes with the exclamation, which means there is loss here. And I feel like whatever they're angry about, it's not like it's unwarranted. I just feel like it might be taking a life of its own, and they might be getting over-concentrated on what they've lost. But this seems to be like one of those reset moments, like to realize what you have left. But none of the cards here are bad. I want to be honest with you. This is the only card on your side, the Ten of Swords, that's really a negative card. The Devil card and the Five of Cups, pretty much usually the Devil card, typically viewed as a negative card. This is all the negative cards I'm seeing here. But I am seeing in the next spot here the Eight of Cups for your partner. Wondering, it's funny because I feel like what they're doing is they're concentrating on what they've lost, but at some point they do look at the situation a little closer and realize what they still do have, and they're starting to realize, maybe I want to keep what I still have. But there is a moment here. There's a very powerful moment on your partner's side. Very angry energy is what I'm thinking. Very upset. Is it anger? Nah. I'm not getting anger, I'll be honest with you, because I'm seeing Herman here, and I'm getting selfish. I'm getting there's a selfish thing going on here. I'm feeling like they lost something. Something didn't go the way they want to. They're feeling lack, and they're having a little selfish moment because I don't know. I don't feel like it's. I know this is gonna sound bad, but I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like this is a moment where they're kind of having this selfish moment for themselves. But I feel like as they're doing this, the reason this isn't that bad is because they're realizing what they're going to be left with if they... I feel like having this selfish moment might feel good in the beginning or at the moment, but I feel like it doesn't last long before they're like, that's not really what they want. I don't feel like that's really what makes them feel good. So it doesn't last that long. I'm getting it's more like when I'm seeing the devil card, I gotta stop calling him Herman. God forbid somebody's gonna be watching this and be like, my name's Herman, why are you saying that? Sorry. I'm feeling like there's a selfish energy going on here, but it's short-lived. And I feel like it's more of a sounding board? No. Is that what I want to say? Like, as they have this moment, I feel like the yes or the exclamation above it is like they're definitely, this is meant to happen. This moment should happen. They're feeling the lack, and they're just trying to have a moment here where they're just kind of making sure they get what they want because things seem to be falling away. But I feel like it's bringing it to the forefront what's really important to them. Like, what they're being selfish about, is it really worth it when they're selfish? Like, are they really happy when they're being selfish? Like, is that really giving them the happiness they want? Because I feel like that's the whole point of this moment. For them to get what they want, to have a little selfish moment, but then to realize, you know what? Even if I end up with what I want tangibly, it's just the whole situation is not working together with this attitude. I feel like we gotta go a little farther because I feel like it's just like a reset type thing. Because I feel like they love you. They get the Queen of Cups here, but especially in this deck, she tends to look like she's holding back a little bit. I feel like there's a protective energy here. Are you included in this? Like, when this person is kind of having a selfish moment, are you included in this? In the sense of, like, they're gathering, like, you're with them? Like, you're with them, it's a relationship thing, but I know some people, when they do this selfish thing, it's like, they're selfish for themselves and their partner. Also, sometimes their immediate family is lumped in with that. Like, they're being selfish, but they're including only their closest people with it. I'm not really sure if that's how this is happening yet. I'm waiting for more to kind of come forward. I think I centered too much on Herman here in the beginning. Or the devil card. I gotta stop saying that. Okay. These are the two cards that hold the situation where it is. Now, you're feeling lost and ruin here. But I'm getting like your partner, while they love you, they're shutting you off. Okay, finally came forward. They're shutting you off. Like, they're being selfish, but for them, like, it's very much about them. Like, personally, like, it's very much personal. All mine feel. And I feel like it's kind of, that might be hurting your feelings because usually, I don't know if that's how they usually are. I don't think that's how they usually are. I'm not feeling that that's a normal thing here. But there's like, they're having a minute. But it's a reset button minute. And they do come back around after and they realize, you know what, there isn't really what I want. As this is going forward and as they're going through this whole situation, even though you're feeling defeated, you are also the Seven of Wands, which is you're succeeding. I feel like it's very upsetting. But I feel also that there's the Seven of Wands in the sense of like stiff upper lip. I feel like you're shouldering through. I'm getting it's more of like an upset, like you're not really explaining to your partner how you're feeling. You're just kind of like upset about it. And you're just kind of shouldering it through in the sense of like, I'm not getting a lot of arguments. I'm not getting like things like that here. I'm getting you're upset, but you're just kind of like waiting it out. You're shouldering it through. You're not really understanding why they're having this moment. But it's making you wonder what's going on here. I feel like the way it's happening, it's one of those things where you're starting to question, like, how much do you really love me the way you're treating me right now? Because this isn't right. I'm getting that kind of feel. And I feel like that's why you're upset. That's why the Ten of Swords is there. You're questioning, like, how much does your partner really love you? But with the Seven of Wands, you don't want to destroy anything in case it's just a moment in time, in case it's just a misunderstanding. You're trying to let it kind of like cycle through and find out where this next piece is going to fall into place. I feel like you're a little upset though, because you're wondering, like, the way you're treating me, do you really love me? Because I don't think this works. Now, we get to that part where your partner's looking at the situation. They realize they want to keep. I feel like this card is different, but in this situation, I feel like they're looking at the whole situation, what's lost and what's left, and they're like, they want to keep what they have with you, definitely. Okay. It goes to the Ten of Pentacles on their side and the Two of Wands on your side. So I feel like they're being a lot more giving. I'm getting there's still a divide though. I'm getting it's more of like a playful atmosphere, but I'm still getting this divide. Like whatever they're being selfish about, I'm still like I feel like there's still like this invisible wall between you because of that. But things are starting to be a little bit more conducive, like you're talking better. It's a little bit more joyful. When I see that Two of Wands here at the bottom for you, I feel like you want this to get better, and you're happy with the moment that's going on here, but I feel like in the back of your mind you're still held to that thought, like what is happening? Like I feel like you're really questioning this incident because I feel like it really kind of rocked you a little bit, shook you up a little bit. So I'm seeing other things here. I'm wondering if you're considering, like, what does this mean? You might have a moment where you're wondering if this is something, maybe, especially because of the Ten of Swords in the past, you're wondering, is this something that's actually you should walk away from? But when you get to the Two of Wands, I don't feel like you want to do that, yet you're still kind of stuck with the thought, because you're still bothered by whatever happened. And the way your partner treated you, it's still looming over you. Now you have the Three of Pentacles with a change of direction where you stand, and I feel like it's at this point where your partner's starting to be a little bit more cordial with you again that you have this, because the Three of Pentacles, you're looking at what's actually there, but you're also looking at where you want this to go. You're looking at what is this really built on, and you're trying to see this as like, you want to believe it was just a moment, but I feel like it's still kind of looming over you, like, why did that happen? Because I thought we were in this together, and then this moment here, like, why did that happen that way? I feel like that's just kind of holding on in the back of your brain. And while I do feel like there might have been a moment where you were considering walking out, you've decided not to, or I feel like this is, or if you're in that moment where you're not sure what you want to do just yet, I feel like the choose a new direction is saying it's not really a good time to walk out of this. Whatever the situation is, because it feels like whatever it is, again, we're coming back to the Ten of Wands, it did bother you. Like, it really crushed you, because to you it was just like, that's not how you treat somebody you love. And it's bothering you. It's holding on there. And I feel like you got to kind of work it out. And I feel like there's a little bit of like playful energy between you and your partner, but I'm not really feeling like there's a working out of like what's happening. I get the Three of Pentacles here, but I feel like that's more about the relationship and the longevity, where it's going. I don't feel like it's about the situation. I feel like you're working this out and trying to get along with your partner, trying to reestablish something that feels a little damaged, but you're not going directly for the situation. And I feel like the reason you're not, it might be one of those choose the other direction, choose a new direction thing, is because I feel like it might be like looked at as like a time bomb, or like if you start talking about the situation, because it hurt you so much, it's going to blow up. It's not about what you want it to come off as. You just know if you go into that conversation, you're going to let your partner know exactly how you felt about what happened and all that stuff. And you're seeing that more of causing a problem. You're seeing that more of like a destructive force than a healing force at this moment. So I feel like you're stepping back from that. And I get that, and I'm getting that's why we have compromise here. Because I feel like you're working on the relationship, but you're not dealing directly with the issue because you still have strong feelings that really hurt you. And you're knowing if you go into that relationship, you're going to say exactly what you think about that. And you're thinking that's going to be more destructive than healing at this point. it may come around later, but when it's desensitized a little bit. Anything else with this compromise? You do have the Ten of Cups here, which seems to be when the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles come in a reading, especially where they're falling in this one, they're kind of companion things. Your partner's showing how dedicated they are to this relationship. They're trying to, I feel like they're looking back and they're like, you know what, I feel like they're kind of regretting how they handled some things. And the way that they're coming back towards you, I feel like you're feeling better. I feel like you're feeling better. Here we're going with that again. So it is improving. And I am also seeing like, this is what's helping at the end here, by the way. What matches on your partner's side for what's helping is the Queen of Wands with the If You Believe. I feel like your partner does love you. Again, this is another Queen card. They have the Queen of Cups, but they're kind of keeping you on the outside. They also have the Queen of Wands with the If You Believe. I feel like they're trying to move forward and they're trying to correct this. I do feel like they know how you felt to a degree at the very least. I feel like they know more than they realize. More than you realize. I feel like they're kind of being careful. They're kid gloving it, but they might not be. I feel like they're realizing there's a problem. Let's leave it at that. And they know that they have to step carefully, and they want to correct this. If You Believe, I feel like they're trying to correct this, and they're feeling the same way you are. If they open that door to that conversation, like, it could be quite the situation. So they're also, I feel like they're in agreement to not talk about that right now, but they're trying to make up for it in other ways, which is why I feel like the Ten of Cups here is happening for you as well. That's because they're making this effort, it's making you feel a lot better. You're staying away from a certain conversation, you're staying in the situation, you're staying in the relationship, and you're feeling better. I feel like the whole thing here with the Devil card and the Five of Cups, it's like something set this off. But it seems to be in the background. It seems to be something caused a reaction with your partner. There's something in the background that pulled this behavior forward. And now you're dealing with it in this respect, but I'm not getting like what happened. Like something seems to have happened to make them feel like they lacked or they were missing out on something or something was changing. If a friend left or if they lost a loved one, something has changed and it really shook them up a little bit and they lost their footing. And I feel like it was almost like an anxiety or a panic attack, just a version of that, like doing this selfish thing was just trying to hold on to things that are just basically falling or being pulled away from them and they have no choice. I feel like it's friendship or family. It's like it's a relationship oriented thing though. Somebody is not involved in their life as they were, and that seems to have triggered this moment where they go into this like survival mode and they're trying to hold on to things and be very me about it. But I feel like once they realize what they're doing and they realize they don't want to destroy this relationship, because I feel like that's what Eight of Cups is saying, they don't want to destroy this relationship, then things correct. And I feel like the reason it bothers you so much is because I don't know if you're realizing where this is coming from. And even if you do, the way that you're being treated, I feel like it's the way you're being treated. You're like, I thought it was us. I didn't think it was you and me. Like, I thought we were together. Like, we were going through things together. You know, not like you have yours and I have mine. We have ours. That's how I thought it was. And now you're treating it like you have yours and I have mine. And that's the Ten of Swords for you. But it's like a reset. It's like, I feel like this is almost like helping them realize how they're dealing with other pieces of life, and I don't know, it's bringing something forward for them. They're learning from this. The Devil card usually comes forward with a lesson. Tends to be a lesson that keeps repeating, that they're having a hard time learning. When I've seen it come up in readings before, it's usually a tough lesson that somebody's kind of stuck and they keep repeating it. So hopefully they get a little closer to whatever they're supposed to learn here. But I do see that they definitely value their relationship with you, and this like knee-jerk survival mode, anxiety reaction. Once they snap out of it, they realize, I better fix this quick before I end up losing something that I really, really want or someone. I really, really want in my life, and they are coming back at you. I feel like this is going to take some time. I'm kind of feeling like this situation goes dormant, and it may reappear in the future, but if it does, it'll either be because there's more like it, or it's time to heal it. One of the two. If there's more like it, it's, pretty much like dumping out the trash can. But I feel like for the most of you, this person's trying to move forward. It's just it's a survival thing. It's like when their life is shaken up a little bit, this is just kind of what happens. And it might be better for you to know than not know. I think you've seen this in other situations though, so I don't feel like this is a new pattern. Okay, but it does come back around to you, and I do see that they're showing you love again. It's just like it's a lapse of judgment there, big lapse of judgment, because of course, because of the way it hit for you. I hope that helps, because I feel like this is going in a good direction. Maybe just seeing it happening and just how hopefully there's something there that makes this easier for you. I do see the Sun card in your spirituality with this situation, which is the only card I haven't shown, and I just realized that. Which basically means you definitely love this person. You definitely like this relationship. You don't want to move on. I feel like it's just when you have the Ten of Swords versus the Sun card does win out. But the Ten of Swords, it's just like that's kind of ruining your happy day. And it's just kind of like, do I walk away? Is this really not as good as I thought it was? And it is really good. It is a good relationship. I just feel like your partner's having like a survival mode, anxiety reaction to something going on in their life. And I just feel like neither of you are going to talk about it, but your partner's going to show that they're going to show through action that they're sorry. I don't feel like somebody's going to say they're sorry. I feel like they're going to show they're sorry by trying to make it up to you. That type of thing. Okay. All right. I feel like I'm kind of going on about that, so I'm going to let that go for here. And then we're going to do Scorpio singles. I'm looking out the window now and I'm not seeing any clouds, but I thought it was cloudier before. I thought it was going to be easier to do this, but here we are. I got the time to do it. I don't want to pass the opportunity to actually do this. This is just where I got my stuff set up. It's just the easiest place for me to film usually, but you'd think the sun would be a nice thing to have here, but I think it's the way I'm sitting. Alright, Scorpio singles. Scorpio singles. Messages for Scorpio singles, empowering messages that help them understand what's going on and help them move forward the way they want to. Help them see the truth of a matter if they need to make their life happy or what they want it to be. I'm going to put that down and shuffle these. Okay, let's shuffle these. I bless these cards to match up with those as necessary to give enlightenment and empowerment where necessary to help Scorpio move forward as necessary. I wonder if some of you are interested in a Virgo. There's kind of like a Virgo energy there. That's interesting. I know we're doing Scorpio, so don't worry, but it's Scorpio energy. It's just... And then we got some Earth cards over here at the end. Not that means there's another Earth card. Alright, I'm going to put it down before we keep doing that. Alright. Nope, they're like, leave that alone. Okay, so Scorpio, single. For a love reading, I feel like it's pretty good. You do have the Five of Swords. You don't have Herman in your reading. I'm not going to pull out any more cards that I'm planning to, at least, so hopefully he won't show up at all. But the Five of Swords is usually defending your position. Usually warding off other people trying to take what you already have. And being successful in that. So I'm wondering if you're kind of like competing for somebody's attention. And you got the King of Cups here at the bottom here. There's a lot of love already. That's well established. That's knowing how you feel. That's moving forward and trying to make something happen. Now, the way you're acting, it seems like the other side loves it. Ten of Cups. So I feel like you're trying to make sure that other people know that you're dating this person, or somehow you're trying to defend your position. You're trying to keep this person interested and to realize, you know what, you're with me. Like, I feel like you're trying to push this into a relationship. I feel like that's where this is. I want you with me. I understand, like, we're not in a relationship yet, but for at least, a couple weeks, how about we just date each other just to give this a chance to see if there's anything here. That type of feel. The other side seems very conducive with this. I feel like they like the attention, they like your energy, they like how you're interested in the sense of, like, you want it to be you and them. Okay. And the King of Cups here, that's a very strong love energy here in this reading, especially because you've got the Two of Cups with the Star card right in the center. So I feel like the passion is already there. What's behind the Two of Cups is the Page of Cups. There's a lot right here. Like, when this is happening, I feel like there's a lot of passion going on. Right in the center, I feel like the overall energy, or the base energy, which is where everything's rooted in. I feel like the base energy in my readings, basically this is something that's very established in a situation. This isn't something that's going to change very easily. As opposed to the overall energy is kind of like a breeze going through. It's kind of like it's what's kind of affecting things. Like, affecting things, like, if there's a strong wind, it could not throw everything on your porch all over the place, or how strong winds could go, but they could go away within an hour or two. Or, you know what I mean? That overall energy is also like a rainstorm coming in, can come and go. But it's basically, the bottom energy is what everything is built from. The overall energy is kind of the current that's kind of affecting things at the moment, if that makes sense. Which maybe it don't, but hopefully it does. But I'm feeling like there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of established passion. You've got the Page of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Star card. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of passion. You know what I feel like you already know exactly what you want. I feel like the other person seems to be on point with this. Now, before this went forward, so it might be like helping you realize if this reading is hitting for you or not. Before this went forward, there was the Four of Swords energy, which means kind of like feeling like you're blocked in, feeling like you're kind of stuck, looking for some hope. That's how I get this one. Trying to understand what you really want to do, but not really feeling like you have the ability to move out of the situation, or not really sure if you want to move out of the situation. You're kind of not sure if you're guarded or if you're stuck. Because a lot of times when I look at this, I notice that there's collars on these wolves. So it's almost like guarded. I feel like that's the history of it. There's being very guarded and trying to look a little deeper, trying to see how this is going to go forward. I feel like that's the precursor to this. Like, you're maybe a little more guarded, not able to move forward, not sure if you should move forward. That's what I'm getting for this card. This card looks kind of strange to me right now. Because I'm getting that shoe with the candle in it, and it just keeps popping into my head. And to me, when I see that shoe and the candle, and then you notice it's like it's a sunny day out there. Only from the shadows and the swords, you could tell that the sun is like towards his head somewhere. But there's no need for the candle just yet. So I'm looking at that candle, and I'm like, it's in that shoe. It doesn't seem like it's necessary. So it makes me wonder, like, why is that even there? In the sense of, like, you're looking for some hope, where you're kind of, like, taking a moment to really think something through and trying to understand, like, do I want to do this or not? I feel like before this happened, before you really got involved, you already knew that your feelings were going to fall for this person. And you were really kind of perplexed whether this was a good idea or not. I don't know if there's a word. I'm getting like there's a little bit of creative energy here. What are they saying with that? I'm getting you were looking at the situation a little closer because of past influences, and you were wondering if you were headed for problems or if this you want to know more of the reality. And I feel like you weren't trusting your heart as much. All right, that card is seeming that I just keep centering on that shoe. It's weird, but as you get into it, the love is there. A lot of passion. You got the Knight of Wands, which in this card, this is movement to me. Very strong movement, very swift movement forward. You go from this state of not sure to like going forward, and then defending your position. Like, you know what? How about just you and me for a couple weeks, and we'll see where it lands, and then from there we can either decide to keep seeing each other, or call it quits. Whatever. We can reevaluate then. Okay. Now, I'm getting this in the future because I feel like you're going in. You weren't sure at first if this was a good idea. You move forward. It almost feels impulsively. There's a lot of passion. I feel like both sides are feeling a lot of passion. Okay. As you go forward, you have the Hierophant with the Abundance card. Now, there's a lot here, and it seems like a lot could happen. The abundance makes me feel like when you're at this point, you're feeling like this can go very far. This can be a very deep, long-term relationship. You're seeing a lot of value here, but the Hierophant makes me feel anyway that there's factors here that there's a certain way this has to be handled. I don't know if there's children involved or if there's something else going on with the distance. Somehow there's definitely an energy here where things have to be done a certain way, and both sides seem to understand that. And it's not about what you like and what you don't like. It's just how the situation is, how you're viewing it. Like, there's a lot here to be had. There's a lot of good here, but it has to be handled in a certain way. It has to be like handled at a certain pace, because especially when you see the Hierophant here with the whip in one hand and the gift in the other. Is it the whip? Yep. The whip to me says there needs to be self-control. The gift, on the other hand, it's like saying that you can have the gift, but you got to do it the right way or you're going to get smacked with that whip. So you can get what you want here, and the gift is definitely worth it. But I'm noticing that the abundance card I'm putting over next to that whip. So I feel like you're kind of nervous about this because you really want that gift, but you're afraid you could lose out if you don't do this the right way. Okay. Interesting energy there. I'm getting like there's a certain it has to work out a certain way, and both sides seem to understand this. Because if it goes too fast or the wrong way, there could be problems. Okay. They're telling me let that part go. We're going to let that go. Now, in your thoughts, you got the King of Pentacles and the Romance. Especially when I have Scorpio energy, I'm feeling like you are feeling a lot of sexual attraction to this person, a lot of passion towards this person. You want to be with this person, you want to hug them and kiss them and all that other good stuff. And even though you have this feeling with the Romance, the King of Pentacles, in your thoughts, you're seeing this like long term, like how you feel now, like, how do I put this? How you feel now is how you see yourself feeling later. Like, you don't see it changing. And I feel like one of the reasons is it might be you've been feeling this way all along, and you want to get closer. I don't know how close you're getting. It depends on you, but you're really much loving the energy of this person, and I feel like you're liking the romance part of it. You really want to touch this person, kiss them, all that other stuff. You want to be physically close to each other. So I feel like this is a very strong motivator here. But the King of Pentacles is telling me, though, that you have a long-term goal here. It's almost like you can hold yourself back because you see it, like, it's not lost. If you don't do it today, if you have to wait a couple weeks, a couple months, it's going to happen at some point, and it's going to be worth it. So I feel like the King of Pentacles is like being willing to hold off or hold back because you're seeing an end goal here that's worth it. Okay. Now, more Pentacle energy here. Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. I've got everybody but the Page of Pentacles for the Earth, and I have 2 of the Court for the Water. So there's a lot of strong movement, a lot of strong establishments going on here. The Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting this is moving forward. This is moving forward, and the Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles, like there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of care being taken here. I feel like because they're Pentacle cards, again, I feel like that Hierophant energy is pushing forward. Like things have to go a certain way. It's not about preferring it or not. It's just it has to go a certain way. It has to go at a certain speed. Certain things have to be taken care of. But they're saying here it's up to you how fast this goes. It might be able to go a little bit faster than it seems. And you might be able to get a little bit more enjoyment out of it. I feel like there's ways to circumvent the process, not as in like if your end goal is to move in together and you're like, well, it's going to be a couple months because this, that, the other thing. And we got people involved and, where are we going to live? And like, for example, if you have kids and this other person has kids and you're a couple towns apart and if you live in the same spot, you're knowing that, it's going to change at least to where one of the bunch of kids or whatever are going to go to school. So that seems to be a factor. But I'm seeing like you can spend more time together and you maybe have more time to deal with things. You can find times to, like, you can get together after work or in like outings and things like that where you get together, like you'll bring your kids and then you pick up the other person and their kids. I don't know if there's a lot of kids. There's a kids theme going on here, it seems. Now, if there's other things going on where it's work related and maybe you're in one city and the person you're involved with is in another city and you're both established with your careers, I feel like there's like I don't know, depending on how far you are away, like you can do like every other weekend or maybe every other month depending on what's happening, where one flies to the other for a weekend. I don't know how that works, depends how much that means to you, but I feel like this can be worked out. I feel like they're saying here with it's up to you. You can find ways to make this more enjoyable and make this more livable in the meantime until things can be ironed out. But with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, that's moving forward. That's like whatever the situation is now, the long-term goal, you're seeing where this is going to be, where you're both going to move towards each other at some point. And if it's one of those things where you're both established in different cities with very established jobs, I feel like you're working out like, what are you going to do? Are you, does one of you have options at your company to work from home? Is one of you considering maybe changing a job to be with the other? Things like that. Because I feel like with the Queen and the Knight of Pentacles, those conversations are happening, and it's not so much about can it happen, it's about what's going to happen to make it conducive for the two of you to be together. I feel like it's mulling out, like, what do you have, what do I have, what can be done, what should be done. I'm feeling like there's looking over possibilities and deciding what to do to make things happen. It just can't happen overnight, but a plan is being formed, and I feel like you're looking at this like we will be together at some point. Okay. So this is where this is going here. And I'm wondering if this, whatever this situation is at the end, I'm getting like this is connected to this Four of Swords in the past because you saw these challenges before you even got involved, but the passion was pulling you towards this person. You got involved anyway, and now you're like, well, no, it's just about ironing it out and how are we going to make it work out at the end here. Okay. All right, I think we're good for this. Anything else here? All right. So thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.